Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I've been very blessed in my life. I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world, meet so many people, and have very interesting and exciting adventures. I have always made a priority of how I spend my money is on travel because it's something that I simply enjoy the most. One of my favorite places to travel in the world is Africa. I've been to Africa many times, many different places. I met so many wonderful people, had so many once-in-a-lifetime adventures. Something that struck me that still sticks with me today was during the pandemic when tourists couldn't come there. And a lot of the remote areas in Africa, their economy depends on tourism, hunting, safaris, things like that. A large amount of money that comes into their communities comes in through tourism and those kind of people that want to go out in the middle of really nowhere and to have different kind of adventures. And so we really realize, having traveled there, how very blessed we are with all of the things that we have. During the pandemic, when there was no tourism allowed, and they were requesting from us who have been there if we couldn't donate to put together meal kits, survival meal kits for the families that were in need. And it was so surprising to see what types of things that they asked for the families, especially when you look at what people in America were racing to the store, what they were trying to buy up, what they were complaining about when there were shortages during the pandemic. If you remember back, maybe you complained because you couldn't get toilet paper or chocolate chips or your favorite brands of something. I want this to sink in on what are the basic necessities that these people were asking for so that they could continue to survive until the pandemic ended. The food care kits that were put together with the donations that came in included 5 liters of oil. Now, you know, a liter is like a quart. 5 liters of cooking oil and 1 liter of corn syrup. Okay, the dried foods were supplied in kilograms. So 1 kilogram is like 2.2 pounds. So they asked for 10 kilograms of sugar, 10 kilograms of flour, 10 kilograms of rice, 10 kilograms of cornmeal. So each package would have been about 22 pounds. That's the food care kit that was given to these families so that they would have food for, I think it was for a month. Can you imagine if that was all of the food that you could get and you were thankful that you could have it? Have you really realized how blessed we are that we can go to the store, we can choose whatever we want, bring it home, put it away. Even when we're struggling to pay those bills, we have so much that it's hard to sometimes count our blessings and realize how wonderful it is. So this is an experience that really has stuck with me, and I try to remember to count my blessings and to realize how blessed I am, and then to put away the foods that I can afford, that I want, so that I don't ever have to say, could I please just have this basic food so that I could feed my family? Most of us wouldn't even know what to do if all we had was cooking oil, corn syrup, flour, sugar, cornmeal, rice. I think if that's all we had, most of us couldn't even survive. We wouldn't even know what to do with just that food. So something you need to think about is if that amount of food would be a blessing to people where there's the most food insecurity in the world. Think about how blessed we are and how much those people would have appreciated having the things that we do and the opportunity to prepare like we can so that they didn't have to rely on someone else to provide a little bit of food so that they could survive. We hope and pray that we never end up in such dire circumstances, but it's happening in many places in the world. And if you think it can't spread and it won't come here, hardships come to everyone at some time in their life. We probably will never experience food insecurity to this dramatic of an extent, but it certainly gives us reason to think about what are the things we really do want to have on hand. What are we willing to stockpile? What are we willing to stop spending money on things that don't really matter so that we can have the things that we really need? Prepping is lifestyle insurance. We have the opportunity to prepare for whatever the future holds, good and bad. And Both of those come to everyone at some time or another. Let us know in the comments below, what are the absolute basic foods that you would need that then you actually could survive, that you could make meals if you couldn't get anything else. It's hard to imagine that that would be all that we have and what would we do with it. I know that I would have a hard time figuring out how to make meals out of that, and probably you would too. So yes, let's count our blessings and prepare so that we can have a very smooth life going forward to the best of our ability. I hope you'll like my video, share it, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.